So, do you see like a standard problem with modern day phenomenon? Is it like our, drinking heavy? Is it drugs? Is it our poor diets? I mean, is there something that's causing this sort of decrease in sex drive, or is it quite a sort of
I
limited?
think that the reasons someone has a low sex drive, I'm not a doctor, first of all, so I can't make a medical assessment of that, but there are so many different factors that you have to consider. Alcohol abuse can definitely lower libido. If you're drinking to the point where it's killing your sex drive, then you probably need to not drink as much. Like that's not, and that's something that that's a totally different. If you're drinking to the point where you're having trouble with your sex drive, that's probably indicative of a drinking problem, and you might want to really cut back at that point. Drugs can obviously affect libido. They can cause erectile dysfunction depending on the substance. A lot of what I've found is that I mean I know that I don't know if they have. Do you guys have antidepressants and stuff in the UK?
Yeah, it's quite
Okay,
very common nowadays.
because that's a real factor that I've seen in a lot of the people who write in, is that their boyfriend or their partner is on antidepressants, and that's causing a lower sex drive, and that can be a real killer. Um, but a lot of the time, age is a big factor. My partner and I have a pretty significant age difference. It's not like super significant; it's like 6 years, but he's in his 30s, so he has a lower sex drive than I do, and we have to compromise. And it works for us because we talk about it and communicate, and he just has a lower sex drive because he's older.
I mean, I've found that's the sort of, once you start the conversation, it's never as bad as you always think. I think your mind just produces the worst case scenario, and it very rarely is.